So in the last session, I just gave the demo.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
I just gave the demo in the last session. I'll give overview of that. And today is not the demo session. I'm continuing the classes.
Okay.
Okay, this is history of Unix. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this. So you are in Linux class. Why history of Unix means? Because Linux came from Unix source code. Linux came from Unix source code. Unix source code is free to everyone. So using Unix source code, Linux operating system came. Okay. As a freshers, if someone is going for interviews, there they are asking who invented Unix, who invented Linux, like that. So that is the reason I'm giving this.
Ma'am, will I get this notes now? I think the slides.
What?
Will I get these slides now on the mail?
Slides we don't give. Notes I will give. End of the session I will share.
Sure. No.
I mean end of the classes.
Yes.
Now flavors of Unix. So not only Linux, we also have some other vendors who use their own operating system using Unix source code. So for example, like this. These are the vendors and these are the operating systems. Not only Red Hat Linux, we also have some other vendors who uses Unix source code. So no one will ask you in interviews who is using Unix source code like that. This is only for your knowledge purpose. I'm giving this information.
Okay.
And now history of Linux, as we discussed in the last session. In 1990, Linux came from Linus Torvalds person. He is a graduate student. He released this Linux operating system. Okay, and he gave this operating system to OSF organization, Open Source Foundation organization. And these are the Linux distributions. Not only Red Hat Linux, we also have other vendors, other distributors who uses Linux operating system. Okay, so these are the distributors of Linux.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah.
There are so many distributions of the Linux. So, which one is the used the company?
So companies will go with Red Hat Linux. Red Hat Linux or Ubuntu.
Okay.
Maximum of the companies will go with Red Hat or Ubuntu. And one more thing is that Kali Linux. Kali Linux is also called Hackers Linux. In cybersecurity, they will use Kali Linux. Generally, we don't use Kali Linux. We use either Red Hat Linux or Ubuntu.
So the working process and all the things are same, na, in all the distributions.
All the distributions or Linux distributors only, everything is same here. Only view is different. Commands are different. Everything is the same. If you learn one operating system, you can work with remaining distributors also.
Okay.
Only view is different. Color is different.
Interface.
And this I already told in last session. In Red Hat, we have versions. These are the versions of Red Hat. So these are the free versions of Red Hat. And these are the commercial editions. Starting, they released Red Hat free editions only. But from the year 2000 onwards, Red Hat started releasing commercial editions. What is the difference between free editions and commercial edition is operating system is free. In free editions and commercial editions also, operating system is free. But in commercial editions, they will charge for technical support. In commercial editions, Red Hat will charge for technical support. Okay. And these are the features of Linux which we discussed in the last session. Open source code we get along with the operating system. We can modify the operating system as per our requirement. I'm just explaining overview only. I'm explaining because as we completed, take a screenshot. Multitasking, multiple tasks can be done and multiple users can log in at a time and they can perform their own task. Portability means it will support all hardware architecture. It works in every hardware environment. Scalability means single operating system is used in normal desktop PC to supercomputer. And reliability because no downtime. Without restarting the PC, we can run this PC for years. Security, Linux is secure because inbuilt firewalls are there, IP tables are there. And also, Linux is secure because it is command line interface. Linux is secure because it doesn't support exe files. Linux is secure. For every user, password authentication is compulsory. That is also reason why Linux is secure. And Linux is secure because we can encrypt a file by assigning password. Linux is secure because no configuration or no setup files here. Everything you will get as a configuration file. Right. And virus free means free from virus because there is a kernel in Linux, software kernel is there, which is inbuilt in our software. So which uses to secure our hardware environment. Before transferring the data to hardware environment, kernel checks the data, then only transfers the data to hardware environment. So virus free, free from virus. Okay, and performance wise comparing to Windows, Linux is fast because Linux works with commands, black screen with white fonts. It doesn't require more graphics. Processor work is less, so it is fast. Also, there is a concept called swap memory, virtual memory, which is used to increase the performance of our physical memory, RAM. These are the few reasons why Linux is best comparing to other operating systems. Means this is what we discussed in our last session. You're
Ma'am,
clear in these points, right?
yes, ma'am. What is the setup file called in Linux? That like in Windows, I have MSA file or exe file. So what is the file called in the Linux to install any application?
To install,
If we want to install any application in the Linux, what is the what we use? Hello.
can you repeat the question? Your voice is very low.
Yeah, how to install
Excuse
any
me.
application in the Linux?
To install application,
Yeah, how to install any application in Linux?
yeah, if you want to install the applications, means we need package managers like yum is the RPM package managers are there, which are used for installing. That also I will show in next classes.
Okay.
Okay, up to now, what we discussed, is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
See, these are the minimum hardware requirement. If you want to install Linux operating system, it's minimum hardware requirement. Take a screenshot. Completed?
Yes, ma'am.
CLI means command line interface. GUI means graphical user interface. And these are the recommended partitions to create. These are the recommended partitions while installing the operating system. What are these partitions? I will explain. First, take a screenshot of this.
Yeah, done.
Before explaining about these recommended partitions and their sizes, I will explain another concept. Then I will come back to this recommended partitions. File system hierarchy. This is the file system hierarchy of Linux. What is this mean? See, In Windows, if you install the operating system, after installing the operating system, if you open your C drive, A and B are reserved for floppy. Whether you are using or not, A and B are reserved for floppy. So it creates the drives from C by default. That is in Windows, right? So in Windows, if you open your C drive after installing the operating system, if you open your C drive, there are default subfolders in C drive. Can you tell me what we have subfolders in C drive?
Like desktop, documents, downloads.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have some folders in Windows, right? Same like that. In Linux also, after installing the operating system, you'll get some default directories. Directory is nothing but folder. In Windows, we call folders. In Linux, we call directory. What is the use of folder? Folders are used for storing content. Means what? Files are subfolders. Right. Same like that. In Linux, what is the use of directory? Means directory is used to store content. Directory is nothing but folder. Only name is different. So these are the default directories you will get in Linux. How we get some default folders in Windows, same like that in Linux also we get. So these are the default directory. Directory means folder, remember. Only name is different. Now, first one is forward slash. Forward slash is a parent directory or top level directory in Linux. I'm repeating, forward slash is a parent directory or top level directory in Linux. And it is similar to C drive in Windows. Forward slash is similar to C drive in Windows. It contains subdirectories. These are the subdirectories under forward slash. In Windows, we have C drive. Here we have forward slash. If you open C drive in Windows, you can see subfolders. Same like that in Linux. If you open the forward slash, these are the subdirectories. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Then. So, the first subdirectory under forward slash is root. Root is the home directory for super user. Super user means administrator. Root is the home directory for super user. It means if you log in as a super user means what? Administrator account.
Yes.
Okay. So when you log in as a super user and you are creating any files or directories, by default, it will store the data under root. This is the default location for administrator, super user. If you want to change the location, you can change the location. In Windows, if you have C drive, everything stores under C drive only. But if you created any directories like D, E, F directories, you can select that directories, sorry, that partitions also for storing the data, right? Same like that here also. Forward slash is a main directory, under forward slash root is there. Root is the home directory for super user. If a super user is logged in and user is creating any files or directories, by default it stores the data under root. And next one is home. Home is the home directory for normal user. It means as a normal user, if you log in into computer and if you create any files or directories, by default it stores the data under home. Okay, so this is the default directory. If you want to change the directory, you can change for normal user also. But this is the default location for normal user. And here one more point. If normal user logged in and creating any files or directories, by default data is going to store under home. This point you are clear, right? And another point is once a user is created, it automatically creates a directory also with same username. Say for example, if you create a user Jack, immediately it creates a directory with Jack name. Where it create the directory means under home. If you open home directory means there you can also see Jack directory. Now, When Jack user logged in and Jack is creating any files or directories, means data is going to store in Jack's directory, which is under home. Similarly, if a user is created, you created a user Roy, immediately it creates a directory with Roy name. Where it creates the directory? Under home. Now, Roy logged in and Roy is creating any files or directories. By default, data is going to store under home. You're getting
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
that. So I'm repeating again. / is a parent directory or top level directory in Linux. It is similar to C in Windows. Under / we have root. Root is the home directory for super user. As a super user, you logged in and you're creating any files or directories. By default, data is going to store under root. Next is home. Home is the home directory for normal user. As a normal user, you logged in and you're creating any files or directories. By default, data stores under home. Next one is boot. Boot contains bootable files. System bootable files are stored under boot. Also kernel up to RHL version 6. Up to version 6, kernel also stored under boot. Next one is sbin. Sbin contains super user commands. The commands which can be executed by super user. The
Ma'am,
commands are stored under sbin.
ma'am, please explain
Next
boot
one is
again.
bin. Yes.
Please explain boot again.
Boot contains bootable files. OS bootable files are stored under boot. Also kernel. Kernel also stored under boot. Up to version 6, kernel stored under boot. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Done. Next, sbin. Sbin contains super user commands, the commands which can be executed by super user. That commands are stored under sbin. Bin contains normal user commands, the commands which can be executed by normal user. The commands are stored under bin. See, when normal user logged in and normal user is executing any commands, means it will check somewhere whether the command is there or not. Where it will check means in bin. Similarly, when super user is executing any commands, it will check the commands in sbin.
Ma'am,
Next one is USR.
ma'am, it will be very
USR
hard to remember
is,
all these.
sorry,
It will be very hard to remember all these terms.
no need to remember anything. Just understand, if you understand the point enough, next I will give the notes for this.
Okay, so any their practical on the.
Yeah, this directories regularly we use in our classes.
Okay,
Each directory in different times, scenarios we use this directories. At the time, again, I'll repeat these directories. Now I'm just giving brief information about this directories. What directory is for what purpose.
yeah, it will be very easy if we learn a theoretical part and the practical together.
Yeah, it is easy also for you. If you just if someone asks you what is root, you can tell root is the home directory for super user. What is home? Home is the home directory for normal user. Boot contains bootable files and kernel. Sbin, it contains super user commands. Bin, it contains normal user commands. Notes is there. Next, I will show you slide also. You can take a screenshot of that. You can maintain your notes, or if you want me to write and give, I will give. I'll write the notes and I will give.
Ma'am, I want to install Linux on my virtual machine so I can practice daily.
What?
I want to install Linux system on my virtual machine so I can
Yes,
practice
yes.
daily.
Yes. For practical purpose, you need Linux. So, how to install Linux operating system, that I will show you.
Okay, fine.
I'll explain and I'll show you.
Okay, ma'am.
So, next one is USR, default applications. Applications which comes along with operating system. That applications are stored under USR. Like in Windows, if you install the operating system means along with the operating system, you will get Windows Media Player, right? Similarly, in Linux also, after installing the operating system, you will get some applications. So default applications we call. That applications are stored under USR. I'm repeating USR. It contains default applications which comes along with operating system. That applications are stored under USR. Next one is where. Where contains log files, system log files are stored under where. And next one is dev. Dev contains devices information. Devices means partitions information. Partition information is stored under dev. In Windows, we call partition. Here we call device. And next one is etc. etc contains configuration files. As I told you, Linux works with configuration files. Right. So that configuration files are stored under etc. OPT means optional applications. Applications which we install manually, like third-party applications, are stored under OPT. And next one is media. Media contains external devices information, like external hard disk, external DVD writer. So that informations are stored under media. Okay, up to version 6, RHEL version 6. External devices information is maintained by media. And next one is MNT. MNT contains partitions and their mounted directories information. See, generally in Windows means if you create a partition, you can format the partition and directly you can access that partition. Right. If you double click on the partition means you can access the partition. Access means you can create data, you can create files, you can create folders, you can check content, you can delete content, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
That is in Windows. But in Linux, directly we cannot access partitions. We cannot access the partitions directly. So what to do means after creating partitions, we create a directory. Okay. So, and we give the link between partition and directory. That is called mounting. Okay. So, to access the partition, if you want to access the partition, we access the partition through mounted directories. So, what is this mounted directory? How to give the link? Why we give the link? This I will show you practically. It is very easy concept. Now, if I explain, you will not understand the point. Okay, so simple, remember MNT contains which directory is linked with which partition. That information is maintained by MNT. And next one is run. Run contains external devices information and kernel. From RHEL 7 onwards, external information and kernel is maintained by run. So these are the directories which comes along with your operating system. I'm repeating again.
Ma'am, run is doing job of boot and media.
Yeah, run contains kernel and external devices information.
Yes, as media is also containing the information of
Media also contains external devices information, but up to RHEL version 6.
Okay.
From version 7, from all the latest versions are maintaining external devices information and kernel in run directory. Clear?
Yeah, ma'am, I'm not getting the what does it mean version.
You don't understand run? Version means
I
1
didn't
second.
understand the versions.
Yeah, I will tell what is this version. See, here I told no versions of Linux operating system.
Okay.
Up to RHEL 6 version, media contains external devices information. From RHEL 7 onwards, run and contains external devices information and kernel.
Got it.
Now clear what is this version?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. In Windows, we have Windows XP, Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11, like that are there. No, same like that here also. Yeah. RHL 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like that versions.
Windows versions.
So these are the directories we have. I'm repeating these directories once again. / is a parent directory or top level directory in Linux. / contains subdirectories. Okay. And it is similar to C drive in Windows. And the subdirectory, the first subdirectory under / is root. Root is the home directory for super user. Directory means folder. Super user means administrator. So root is the home directory for super user. As a super user, you logged in and you are creating any files or directories. By default, data is going to store under root. And next is home. Home is the home directory for normal user. As a normal user, you logged in and you're creating any files or directories. By default, data is going to store under home. And next one is boot. Boot contains bootable files up to RHEL version 6. Kernel also stored under boot. Boot contains bootable files and kernel also stored under boot up to RHEL 6 version. Sbin contains super user commands, the commands which can be executed by super user. The commands are stored under sbin. Next is bin. Bin contains normal user commands, the commands which can be executed by normal user. The commands are stored under bin. USR contains default applications. Applications which comes along with operating system. That applications are stored under USR. Where contains log files, system log files. Like task manager. How many users logged in? What are the tasks they are using? What commands are executing? That information is maintained by where. Dev contains devices information, means partitions information. etc contains configuration files information. OPT contains optional applications informations, means applications which we install manually. Media contains external devices information up to RHEL version 6. MNT contains which partition is linked with which directory. That information is maintained by MNT. Run contains external devices information and kernel information from RHEL version 7. So these are the directories we have, default directories. Clear, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Take a screenshot of this. Completed?
Yes, ma'am. Done. Yes, ma'am.
Completed?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Done.
This is completed?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you don't take screenshot also no problem, because recording videos, recording you will get video. So you can see there also.
Okay. So it will
Daily you will get recording videos. After finishing the class, we will upload recording videos. So in recording videos also, you can check this.
okay, ma'am. Done, ma'am. Done, ma'am. Done. 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 Done.
Done. Now, I will explain about recommended partitions. So these are the recommended partitions in Linux. These are not compulsory partitions. These are recommended partitions. Then what are the compulsory partitions in Linux means? / and swap are the compulsory partitions in Linux. What is / means? It is a parent directory. / is a parent directory or top level directory in Linux. Why it is compulsory partition? Because it is a parent directory and / only contains all the subdirectories. That is the reason it is compulsory partition. See, in Windows, C drive is compulsory. Without C drive, you cannot install the operating system. That is primary partition, right? Same like that in Linux, / is a parent directory. So it is compulsory partition. Minimum recommended size is 10 GB. More than that also you can give. So if you give more space means other directories also can utilize that space. And next one is swap. Swap also compulsory partition while installing the operating system. What is swap means? It is a virtual memory. Swap is a virtual memory. Virtual memory means what? Memory means what? Storage device. But this is virtual memory. It means physically we cannot touch. Logically, we can use that space. Physical memory means what? Hard disk, RAM, ROM. These are physical memories because we can touch them. They are used for storing the data and we can touch them. And coming to swap, it is used to store the data, but we cannot touch it. By using hard disk space, we create this virtual memory. How we create, I will show you. While installing the operating system, I will show you. So, swap memory also compulsory while installing the operating system. What is swap memory means? It is a virtual memory. And then what is the use of creating swap memory while installing the operating system means? Swap memory is used to increase the performance of physical memory. Means you can create a virtual memory, swap memory, by using hard disk space, and that memory you can add to your physical memory. Say for example, you have 1 GB RAM. Now you can create virtual memory, logical memory, you can create 2 GB and that space you can add to your RAM. So your physical RAM is 1 GB and if you are adding 2 GB space to that RAM means now your RAM speed is what? 3 GB. Using 3 GB space, it stores the data. It will send the data and it will receive the data. So when it is using 3 GB space, the working speed will increase, right? So, while installing the operating system, creation of swap memory is compulsory in Linux. Swap memory is used to increase the performance of physical memory.
Like, ma'am, like we do paging in Windows to increase the virtual memory.
Come again?
Like we do in Windows paging.
SS.
Yeah.
Here, swap memory. While installing the operating system, we create, and after entering to the operating system, also we can create swap memory. I will show you both. I will give points. Notes also I will give at the time. Okay?
Okay. So swap
So this,
memory, ma'am, this uses the physical hard disk na, to create a swap virtual memory.
come again?
So we use a physical hard disk to create a swap virtual memory, na?
Exactly, exactly. We use physical hard disk. We use space from physical hard disk and we add that space to our RAM. We use physical hard disk space to create swap memory.
Use ROM to create RAM.
Yeah. Clear, Roy?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So / and swap are the compulsory partition while installing the operating system. / it is a parent directory, so it is compulsory. Swap is a virtual memory which is used to increase the performance of physical memory. So it is compulsory. Swap size is twice the RAM, double of the RAM. Okay, so this swap memory I will explain while installing the operating system. I will explain. I'll show you how to create also. And now slash boot. It is not compulsory partition, recommended partition. Why slash boot is recommended? Because it requires 200 to 500 MB space. This space is sufficient. So while installing the operating system, what we do is we create slash boot and we'll give the space between 200 to 500 MB. It uses only that space. So to avoid unwanted data storing, we'll create slash boot while installing the operating system to avoid wastage. It is not compulsory. If we don't create also, it automatically takes space from forward slash and it will create. But if it is recommended to create, it is not compulsory, recommended to create to avoid wastage.
Ma'am, why does it create?
To avoid wastage.
No, no. I asked, my question is why system create this?
Why system creates?
Yes.
Slash boot is used to store bootable files, right? Wise bootable stores are stored under boot.
Okay, okay, okay. So
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 for that it is.
whatever files.
Yeah. Clear, Roy?
Yes, ma'am.
Done. Slash home also not compulsory. This is also recommended. Why slash home is recommended? Because if you don't create slash home while installing the operating system means when users are storing the data, something data is storing, by default the data is going to store under home only. So then what home will do? It will take the space from forward slash and it stores in it. If there is no space in forward slash, home cannot store the data. So that is the reason what I will do is I will fix some size to slash home like 500 GB something whatever depends on our requirement. 50 GB,
User define
500
the place.
GB so that users can store the data in home.
Okay.
It is not compulsory to create while installing the operating system, but if you have multiple users, you want to store the data, users data in home directory means we can create slash home and you can give the space to slash home as per your requirement. No, this is your personal laptop or desktop. You don't have any other users. You are alone going to use this machine. So no need to create it separately. Clear, Roy?
Yes, ma'am. Is Linux the multi-user system or single user?
Multiple users, multi-user.
Okay, okay. So
60,000 users can log in at a time.
okay.
I will show you that also. How to open multiple users also I'll show.
Yes, ma'am.
So these are recommended partitions. Now, slash USR and slash var. These two are recommended in server machines. In client machines, this row are not at all required. These two are recommended in server machines. Why slash USR is recommended in server machine means because slash USR contains default applications. So in server machines, they will run all the applications at a time because in server, in backend, they will run each and every application because they don't know which user required what application. So they'll run all the application. So to run all the applications without any interruption, they will give more space to slash USR to run all the applications. And slash var also recommended in server machine because slash var contains log file. Server maintains all the users logs. How many users logged in, when they logged in, when they logged out, what process they did. In server machine, it stores all the information. It is compulsory in server machine. So that is the reason for slash var, they will give more space to store log files. If there is no space in slash var, it cannot store the data log file. So it will create separately slash var and it will give the space to slash var. This is also recommended in server machine. Okay, I'm repeating. Slash, forward slash and swap are the compulsory partitions in Linux. Forward slash is compulsory because it is a parent directory. Swap is compulsory to increase the performance of physical memory. Slash boot is recommended partition to avoid wastage. Slash home is recommended to store data of normal users. And slash USR is recommended in server machine to run all the applications without any interruption disturbance. Slash var is recommended in server machine to store all the users log files. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So next we'll see how to install the operating system. In next session, I will show you how to install the operating system.
Okay, ma'am.
Next session will be on Monday.
Okay.
Daily classes will be from Monday to Friday.
Okay. Ma'am,
Okay, Roy?
one question I have to ask. So
Yeah,
there,
you can ask anything.
this is regarding the payment. So how can I payment through the bank or UPI?
How to connect to bank or UPI? You are telling in servers.
No, 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 sorry. My question is how to uh, do my payment to continue this class.
Yeah, payment. Payment you can do through UPI. Your wish, your convenient.
Okay.
So once you paid, they will give link also. You can join in what Telegram group. You can message me there also.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
And recording also they will send.
Okay, ma'am. Can I get your number so I can actually how can I say I don't know who is the other person I'm going to pay the money.
What do you want?
I don't know who is the other side to whom I'm paying the money. So,
Okay.
shall I get your UPI ID so I can pay on your UPI ID?
No, yeah. Only company UPI ID only they will give.
Okay, okay, fine.
They will contact you. I think they will send you the details.
Okay,
And we already got in the chat box. They sent you the UPI details.
okay,
If you see, they sent you on chat box. Google Pay number, Phone Pay number they sent.
okay, fine. So
So you
this,
can pay directly to the company.
okay, so this is the
So
Paytm.
once you paid, ask them to add you in Telegram link, the Telegram group. They will add you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
and they will send you recording videos also.
Yes,
And when I will show the practicals, every practical I will write note, and I will share with you the notes.
yes, ma'am. So
Every day I will share the notes with you.
yeah, and ma'am, troubleshooting steps also. So how can we troubleshoot users' issues?
Yes, yes, that also I will show. While doing the practicals, I will show that also.
Okay,
What type of errors you will get, how to troubleshoot them, that also I will show.
sure, ma'am.
So, anything else to ask?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll
So
meet again. So,
yeah,
next session will be installation of operating system.
okay.
I will show you, then you can do yourself.
So
First,
are you going to send all the notes of today's class, ma'am?
yes, yes, I will give.
Okay, fine. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Good night.
Good night, ma'am.